Chapter 41. The Mother's Last Light. Nyctopia, Obsidian Throne Room. Illyria was barely conscious, her radiant form hanging limp and broken within the shadow cage. Golden blood dripped steadily from countless wounds onto the black obsidian floor, forming shimmering pools that reflected the cruel light of the crown. The blackened mithril band burned into her skull like molten iron, sending unrelenting spikes of agony through her mind and soul. Every shallow, labored breath felt like fire in her lungs, her chest rising and falling with excruciating effort. Yet she kept her eyes open, fixed unwaveringly on the fractured scrying mirror. Through the haze of pain and the relentless draining, she focused on one single thing, the tiny golden spark still flickering deep inside her son. With what little strength she had left, she poured everything into that spark. Not power, not magic, just love. A mother's love, pure, unconditional, fierce, and eternal. The battlefield, Kianvati Mountains. Kale hovered above the crater where his father had fallen, crimson eyes blazing with stolen malevolence. His corrupted wings spread wide like a shroud of night. Shadow-sworn forces swarmed closer, weapons raised and dark magic crackling, eager to deliver the killing blow to the fallen supreme deity.
Then it hit him.
A warm, radiant pulse of pure love washed through his entire being, gentle as a lullaby, yet unbreakable as the rising sun. Illyria's final gift reached him like a soft, cradling hand wrapping around his fractured heart amid the suffocating darkness. It flooded every corrupted vein, nurturing the golden spark with tender warmth. Kale gasped sharply, his body seizing violently in mid-air. His corrupted wings faltered as the pulse intensified. The crimson in his eyes shattered like brittle glass. Pure, radiant gold flooded back in, pushing out the abyss. He screamed, not in rage, but in raw, soul-deep horror at the monster he had become. The black veins across his face and body burned away like mist before the dawn, dissolving into harmless wisps. His corrupted wings blazed brilliant white once more, shedding lingering shadows like a serpent shedding its skin. "Father," he cried, his voice fully his own again, young, raw and trembling with remorse. "What have I done? Mother," I felt her. "She's suffering because of me." Kale dove downward like a falling star, slamming into the ground beside the crater with enough force to send cracks spiderwebbing through the rock. He dropped to his knees in the dirt and blood, hands shaking uncontrollably as he reached for the deep, corrupted wound in his father's side. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry," he sobbed, tears of pure gold streaming down his face. "For everything I did, for hurting you, for betraying Mother, for all the lives I destroyed. Please forgive me." Pressing his palms firmly over the injury, clean, radiant golden light flowed from his hands, warm and restorative, beginning to knit the torn divine flesh together. Azoth looked up at his redeemed son, bloodied and exhausted, but his eyes shone with fierce pride and overwhelming relief. He reached up with a trembling hand, gently cupping Kale's tear-streaked cheek. "There you are," he whispered, voice thick with emotion that echoed across the battlefield. "There's my boy. Welcome home, Kale. I never doubted you for a moment. Your mother's love. It saved us both." Around them, the Silver Guard angels rallied with renewed hope and fury, their war cries rising like a heavenly chorus as they pushed back the Shadow-sworn. Mortal soldiers and high elf rangers who had witnessed the divine reunion began to cheer the name of the Prince of Light once more, their voices swelling into a thunderous roar that shook the mountainside. "The Prince returns. Light prevails." Nyctopia, Obsidian Throne Room. Zarek felt the shift instantly, violent severing in the threads of corruption that made his dark essence boil with fury. "No!" he bellowed, the roar shaking the entire obsidian mountain to its foundations and sending cracks racing across pillars and walls. He spun toward Illyria in pure, unfiltered rage. "You treacherous bitch! How dare you interfere?" He slammed his fist into the shadow cage with bone-shattering force, cracking the dark bars. The crown on Illyria's head flared violently as he tried to rip away the last remnants of her power in one final, desperate surge, funneling it viciously toward Kale in a torrent of malice. Illyria screamed through the fresh wave of agony, her body arching. But even as golden blood ran freely down her chin and neck, she managed a weak, radiant smile, her eyes still glowing with defiance. "You can take everything from me," she breathed, each word a labored triumph of will. "My power, my freedom, even my life. But you will never take my love for him. It is stronger than your hate, stronger than your shadows. It will be your undoing, Zarek." Zarek's face twisted into a mask of pure hatred, veins bulging black beneath his skin. He raised both hands, dark power swirling into a lethal vortex, preparing to deliver the finishing blow. But alarms began ringing throughout the mountain deep, resonant bells of warning echoing like doom. Red wizards burst into the throne room in panic, faces pale and robes askew. "My lord," Juan gasped, bowing low, "the Silver Guard has broken through the outer defenses. Azoth and the prince are fighting side by side again. The lines are collapsing. Our forces are in full retreat on the slopes." Zarek snarled, glancing back at the broken but still breathing Illyria. A small, peaceful smile lingered on her bloodied lips, despite the torment. "Keep draining her," he ordered the wizards, voice like ice. "Strip her to the bone if you must. Do not let her die until I return. I will deal with the father and son myself." He vanished in a violent swirl of shadow and stolen golden lightning, streaking upward like a bolt of pure darkness to confront Azoth and Kale. Illyria slumped deeper into her chains, breathing shallow and ragged, but the serene smile remained. She had bought them precious time with the last of her strength. The battlefield. Azoth rose slowly to his feet, supported by Kale's steadying arm. Father and son stood side by side for the first time since the banishment, wounded and grieving. The other redeemed, but visibly exhausted, faint shadows still flickering beneath his skin like embers waiting to reignite. Kale looked at his father, his gold eyes clear but haunted by lingering guilt. "I don't know how long I can stay like this," he said quietly, voice trembling with uncertainty. "The shadow is still inside me, waiting, whispering. It could take me again at any moment." Azoth placed a strong, reassuring hand on his son's shoulder, pride and unbreakable determination shining through the pain in his eyes. "Then we fight it together," he said firmly, his voice carrying the weight of a god's vow. "Every step, every breath, every shadow that rises, until your mother is free and this darkness is banished from our family forever. You are not alone, my son. Not anymore." Kale nodded, gripping his father's arm tightly in return. Drawing visible strength from the contact, above them, the sky tore open with a deafening crack of thunder. As Zarek descended like a god of darkness, wreathed in stolen golden power and coiling hungry shadows, his presence blotted out the sun, casting the battlefield into twilight. The final confrontation was coming. And deep beneath the mountain, chained and fading, yet unbowed, a mother's last light still refused to go out, completely burning as a quiet, defiant beacon of hope in the heart of the storm.